Hello and welcome to episode 7 of my knitting podcast. My name is Alex and today we've got lots of socks to show you. So, the cat has just woken up. Hello, hi, are you coming to join us? You're not? She usually stays in bed until almost midday and it is exactly 11:40, so she's ready for her lunch. Anyway, I have lots of socks to show you today. I don't have any big finished objects, sort of like big garment finished objects, because as you may know, it is a little thing called Socktober and I have been knitting socks all month. So I'm going to show you my finished objects and then we'll talk about works in progress, and I then have some very exciting spinning updates for you. So let's get started. First of all, what I'm wearing is my cloud sweater. This I finished probably over a year ago now, and I'm wearing it because my flat is currently very, very cold. Yeah, this is not a recent finished object at all, but it is my coziest jumper and it's so soft. I made it in Camarosa Snefnug in the colour medium grey, which is from their Naturals collection, and I love it. I bought it while I was on a work trip in Malmö and spent a day in Copenhagen as well, and I would love to go back to Copenhagen, so hopefully one day that'll happen. Okay, let's talk socks. First of all, I felt very motivated by Socktober as a concept to get through a lot of gift knits. I really enjoy knitting socks. I get so much out of it. I love wearing my knitted socks, so they're all scuffed up and in a bit of a state, but I love knitting them, I love wearing them. I knitted this one for my gran for her Christmas present back in the summer, and then lost motivation to knit the second sock, so used Socktober very much as my motivation to do that, and here it is. Here's the pair of them together. This is knit in Socktober Cotswold Wool, which is probably my favourite sock yarn so far. I'm not sure how it wears, but to knit with I absolutely love it, and I think the colours are phenomenal. This one I got for free in a yarn swap, which is very, very fun. I have another one in stash and I would love to get one of theirs in the colourway Piano Bar because I think it's just the perfect colours for me. So this is what I knit this up in. I think it will suit my gran perfectly. It's exactly the colours she likes to wear. Hopefully it'll fit well, but I just needed the motivation to knit the second sock, and that's exactly what's happened. As you can see, there's quite a strong line here where I've obviously knitted the heel flap, and then when I've done the gusset decreases, it's been quite stark, but I don't think it's a problem. You know, I think the two of them match quite well. I really like these. I just knit my regular vanilla sock. She's got the same size feet as me, so it was really easy. Yeah, I love heel flap and turn, the slip stitch heel. It's kind of inspired by my favourite bits of various different sock patterns, and I just kind of took my magic numbers and my needle size, which is 2.5mm. I used tiny circulars for my socks, so I did that, and yeah, just stormed through it. I love having a sock to knit because I can just chuck it in my bag and just knit very mindlessly on it until it's time to do the heel turn. Huge developments from Socktober are that I no longer need instructions to do Kitchener stitch to seal the toe, which is really quite a big development, so that's very good news. Okay, let's talk about my next pair. The second pair of socks that I knitted this month, I knitted the full pair. These are the DK Weight Vanilla socks by the Crazy Sock Lady. I changed the needle size slightly. I got gauge on 3mm rather than 3.25, which was handy because that's what I had and I didn't have to buy any new needles to do it. And for this I used the Regia 6-ply tweed sock yarn. Let me show you up close. It's this very rich chocolatey brown colour with sort of autumnal green, auburn, burgundy speckles in it, and I love it. These are my granddad's Christmas present because, again, he gets very cold feet, so hopefully these will be good thick socks for him, and I very fortunately have enough yarn left over to knit myself a pair as well because I love these and would gladly keep them for myself. I knitted the second size of these. And again, as you can see, it's heel flap and turn, slip stitches, 2x2 rib, which is my favourite rib, as we know, and I'm thrilled with how these have turned out. I think these might be the best socks I've ever made. I have plenty of yarn left over. They have sadly discontinued this yarn, which I find very sad because it was a lovely yarn to knit with and it looks beautiful. So I'm very glad I have enough left over, and there should, if my maths is correct, be enough left over from that as well to put a little square into my sweet shop blanket. So cross your fingers for me. Yeah, really thrilled with these. They're very thick and cozy. I'm wondering if I'll have time to knit myself a pair before I go to the US, which is happening next month, and it will be cold. I'm going to the East Coast, so I'll need I'll need some good warm socks to wear. I'm also now a Blundstones girly and I love them. I wear through boots really quickly because I've got scoliosis, so one of my boots wears out very fast and the other doesn't. So I'm hoping these will be good and firm because I've got through quite a lot of pairs of Doc Martens over the years, and now that I have my Blundstones, all I want is knitted socks. So if I don't manage to get them done, I'll probably take the yarn with me and make them while I'm there. So that's them. I do block my socks if I'm giving them as gifts because I think it just makes them look very presentable and pretty and, you know, in a very good state to be gifted. Yeah, given as gifts. But I don't think it's a necessity at all, and you know, they're meant to have negative ease, so it's whatever really. It's purely really just because I'm vain and I want my socks to look really pretty when they open up the parcel. So that's them. Final pair of Socktober socks is this pair, which very, very fun yarn. This is Opal 6-ply from their festival collection in the colourway Camping. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think this colour collection particularly reminds me of camping. I mean, you tell me, but I don't think that screams a night under canvas to me. Maybe more, I've never been to a festival. No, that's not true. I've worked at a folk festival, but I've never been to like a Reading, Leeds, Glastonbury, whatever. Never been to one of those, and not really interested in going to those. So maybe festival camping is a bit of a different beast, but I think this is quite appropriate because these are a birthday present for my friend Emily, who is the friend I made a top for when she got married in the summer, and the last time I went camping was when I camped in my car on the way home after her wedding on the way to a folk festival where I was working. So this seems like a very appropriate colourway, and it's the exact same colours as the amazing jumpsuit she wore as her going away outfit, so hopefully she'll like them. I did do a little bit of guesswork on the fit because she's got size 4 feet and that just required a bit of guessing from me, so hopefully they'll fit as well. She loves wearing pink Doc Martens shoes and I think these will be a great addition to those, so hopefully they fit and hopefully she likes them. Same pattern as my granddad's socks. This is the DK Weight Vanilla Socks by the Crazy Sock Lady, which is a free pattern. So yeah, recommend if you're looking for a super easy beginner sock pattern that is free and goes very well with 6-ply yarn. I also have enough left over of this to make a pair for myself or for someone else. I'm not sure that this is particularly my choice of colours really, so maybe it'll become another gift knit, but for Emily these are finished and I'm obsessed with them. I'm really happy. I just want to knit socks all the time, but I just want to knit everything all the time, so that doesn't narrow it down a whole lot. This was technically a finished object in my last episode, but it was also soaking wet because I was blocking it at the time. So here it is dried. This is my Bayou Beanie by Vitre design, which I made in Rosa Pomar a Presentar. That's this range. I'll show you the colours close up because the colours are really quite delightful. But I don't know how well you can see that, but I finished it. This is a little fisherman beanie and I need some help because I don't know how to wear this. I want to wear it such that I've got like a little bit of hair sticking out at the front, such that I don't look like an egg, but it's also quite small. This is going to be bad, but I'm going to show you. So maybe I just don't know how to put it on because this looks terrible. I don't know. I think it's also a bit small because it just keeps sort of popping off my head, but at the moment it's a no from me. I'm not massively happy with the fit or the style of it. Let me know if you've got any tips because I think it might be that I'm the problem. So let me know. I find it so hard to make hats that suit me. I've got a couple of caps and I like them, but I think they don't look as cool on me as I want them to. And I largely just have woolly hats to keep me warm, but I don't love them. So if you've got any advice or ideas, let me know in the comments, because I would really appreciate it. But yeah, this was technically a finished object last time. The pattern's lovely. I've got no problems with that. I really enjoyed knitting it. It was very quick. I just don't think it suits me, and I'll be interested to hear if you think there's anything I can do to style it better. So let me know. Let's talk works in progress. So first up, I am working on a hot water bottle cover. I did not know that you were meant to replace hot water bottles, and I had not been doing that, and I'd had my hot water bottle since probably about 2005, which is too long, so I've now replaced it, and the cover was also looking a bit threadbare and sad, so I decided naturally I had to knit one, and this is how it's going so far. I cast this on yesterday because I wanted to get it done. I can't keep wrapping my hot water bottle in a towel. It's not on. Although last night it did leak everything, like probably about 3/4 of a litre of water all over my feet, which was really unpleasant. So having it wrapped in a towel was probably helpful on that one, because it just meant that it was the towel that was absorbing all of the water and not my pyjamas. So I started knitting this cover for it. This is the Hottie Sweater by Paula Strickt, and it's great, very straightforward. I've made a couple of small hot water bottle covers before using the design by No Frills Knitwear called, I think, Shopkeeper's Friend. This is basically the same but a bit bigger. Could have done the maths, thought can't be bothered. So the pattern is very affordable. It's under £2 in the UK, so, and it's really clear and easy, so I strongly recommend that. This is not actually knit in the way it's recommended in terms of the yarn choice. These are the two that I'm using. They are Isaga Alpaca Boucle. I think it might just be called Isaga Boucle in their sort of yellowy colour. It's got quite a lot of orangey tones to it as well, and slightly red bits as well. And then Baramu Woodnote DK in the colour Honeybee, which is very mustardy, almost green tone to it, golden yellow. And together they're making this beautiful fabric. Let's see if it'll focus. Yeah, so you can see there's this sort of mustardy, straw-coloured depth to it, and it's so squishy and soft and thick. I think this is going to be really the ideal hot water bottle cover. I've knitted just 2 rows of this morning, so on my lunch break, which will be soon, I'll make some more progress on this. But I just wanted a quick knit to get it done and it'd be functional. I had both of these in stash. I bought this one to make hot water bottle covers and then didn't need it because I had plenty of another one. So these two together, great combination. Very squishy, very soft, all good stuff. So yeah, hopefully I'll make a bit more progress on this today, and soon enough it'll be alright. I need to put the lid on my hot water bottle a little bit better because I don't want it to leak all over this. Once I've blocked it, if I block it, then it's done. I did add in a couple of extra increases here. So the pattern recommends a certain number. I added in 2 extra just because my gauge was very slightly under. So I'm just going to keep trying it on. And when it gets to a point where I need to start decreasing again, then I'll do that as and when, rather than following the exact measurements on the pattern. But it's very dense, very squishy, lots of fun. Let's move on. Next up is possibly my masterpiece. This might be my greatest work, actually, and it is my Christmas jumper, the Marius Damagenser by Sandnesgarn. This is a Sandnesgarn pattern. Their patterns are such a pain to get hold of. I was lucky enough to get this through Tangled Yarn, which is a yarn shop based in the UK, and I bought the yarn from them as well. This is Peer Gynt in the colours Dazzling Blue and Marzipan Tutti Frutti. Oh, the sun has come out. Been so dull and grey around here, and suddenly the sun has come out to give me this Phantom of the Opera look. Anyway, this is it. I'm so pleased with it. Look at it. I'm thrilled with my colour work on this because my colour work is typically a bit messy, and I feel like I really understood colour dominance, I really understood the pattern, I totally understood getting my gauge right to make it not too cardboardy and stiff. I've gone up 0.5 in needle size. I'm on a 4.5mm needle for this, which works quite well for Peer Gynt for me because I find it slightly heavier than standard DK. I love the Tutti Frutti Tweed. Let's see if you can see it. It just adds that extra little pop of colour. And I love the very traditional Norwegian style patterns. Now my reason for choosing this is because I love it. Firstly, I love the yarn, but also because I've dropped some stitches. That's not ideal. But also because I wanted to make myself a Christmas jumper that wasn't explicitly Christmassy, because I think I just can't be bothered with pouring that amount of time into a project for it to only be wearable maybe 2 weeks of the year. And I think this one will be wearable throughout the cold months, and it'll be extra warm with all those floats. Let me see if I can show you some of my floats actually, because I'm really proud. Very proud of myself. Let's see. Yeah, frankly, very smug about this one. It is taking a while now. I'm onto the plain stockinette part of the body and I'm just knitting round and round and round in circles. I'm planning on knitting it to about 50 centimetres before I do the ribbing, and then it should be the right length for me. My ideal kind of jumper length is about 57 centimetres, so hopefully that'll be about right. It then on the sleeves has a sort of sleeve cap in the same colourwork motif. It's going to have very big sleeves, a big deep armhole, which will be nice and cosy. So it has this colourwork repeat around the sleeves, and then it's more stockinette and marzipan, and then it'll be done. I really want to get this finished by the 20th of December. I think that's possible. We'll see. I just can't get distracted by things. So yeah, it also has this massive squishy collar, which I'm very, very, very pleased with. It has ruffled slightly around the neck due to the collar, but I don't think it looks as bad on camera as I thought it did. So yeah, very excited to be wearing this and feeling so festive, so wintry and so warm. So yeah, this is my favourite yarn by a long way. I can't stop using it. I've used it for so many different projects this year, and I'll probably use it for more next year if I have any left over. I do have a few things that are sort of very occasional because they're not on tight deadlines. I've got my sheep sweater by Rosa Pomar, I've got my novice slipover by Petite Knit, and my melange sweater man, also by Petite Knit. Those are just sort of slowly being chipped away at. None of them are on deadlines, so I mean one of them technically is on a deadline, but it's so far past its deadline now that I think it's not on a deadline anymore. So I've also got those on the go, but they've not made any progress since I last showed them, so I'm not going to show you again. What I do have is this little wrist warmer, which will be a present for my grandma. She doesn't really wear a lot of socks, she's more of a tights wearer. So I didn't want to make her any socks, but she is so into the football, so when she goes to watch the football, I want her to be warm enough, and I thought that a little wrist warmer would do the trick. She is a very bird-like lady. She's got narrow wrists. Oh, hi! Yeah, so it kind of looks like this when I've sewed the ends in. Ooh, that's the door. It was the postie, and I've also now fed the cat, so you might hear her post-lunch howls, which is a noise that she makes after every single meal. We don't really know why. We suspect... There it is. Is that a yummy lunch? Is that a yummy lunch? We think it's probably a habit that stuck around from when she had kittens, but we're not entirely sure. The vet thinks she's probably just weird, which, fair enough. If you know, let me know. So yeah, wrist warmers for my grandma. I just need to make her a second one. This is functionally just the leg of a sock, so they're very quick. Gotta make a few more of these for other people. Hi! Hello! Was that a good lunch? Tasty lunch? Yeah, that's good. So yeah, I'm gonna make a few more of these, but they're very simple, they're very straightforward. I just can't really be bothered because they're not particularly interesting. Hopefully it'll fit. I'm gonna go up in needle size for the next pair, but I think this will be alright for her. Great, that's works in progress. What should we talk about next? Maybe spinning or acquisitions? Okay, I'm having camera troubles. I own a camera because I like photography. I bought it a few years ago. It is not the best at filming a podcast. The battery has run out because the memory card is having troubles and is draining the battery. I've done everything recommended to try and fix the memory card and it's just not working. So I'm filming on my phone now and we'll see if it works, but I can't see what I look like, so we'll see if that helps. I'm going to go back to the start of the acquisition section. I recently was lucky enough to go to the Cotswold Wool Weekend, which is in Cirencester, and it was delightful. It was a very small yarn festival with lots of lovely people, so many little independent brands, and I think something that I hadn't seen at a lot of yarn festivals before was how much was there that was plant dyed, and so I came away with quite a lot of plant dyed things. First of all, I saw my lovely friend Jen there, who gave me a skein for my birthday, which was very sweet of her. This is Lopi spun and plant dyed, and it's this beautiful green. I love it. I think green is meant to be quite hard to dye naturally as well, so that was very exciting. And it goes very well with the set of minis that I bought from Lorna, who is the creator behind Thread and Yarn, which is a beautiful brand. Everything that Lorna made, from her yarn to her art, I loved it all. This is what I came away with. It was a bunch of minis and I love them. They're all plant dyed. This one stands out in particular. It's mushroom dyed. I think you can see just how lovely that is. They're all beautiful colours. I am going to put them in my sweet shop blanket. Who knows where? But probably not all next to each other. I'll spread them out a little bit. But I love them. They're Corriedale socks, so plastic-free sock yarn, which I'm very keen to try knitting up as socks because I would love to be wearing less plastic if I possibly can be. Been trying to buy some thermals recently and finding any that don't have plastic in is impossible these days. I'm sure it used to be possible to buy pure cotton thermals, but apparently not these days. I sound so old. Anyway, I also bought from Lorna this beautiful sock yarn, also plant dyed. This is Lonk Sock in her colourway Scotch Broom, and it is so, so beautiful. This is my perfect colour of yellow. I love this sort of honey, dark mustard yellow. Let's see if it'll show you. Like I said, I'm filming on my phone, so I have no idea how this is coming out, but I'm thrilled with it and I'm very excited to cast it on. I'm in a big sock mood at the moment, so this might well be my next cast on. This beautiful, maybe a cable-y sock, maybe try lace. I don't like knitting lace particularly, but I think on a sock it would be manageable. So yeah, those are my acquisitions that are plant dyed. I didn't buy this on the day at Cotswold Wool Weekend, but I found myself wishing that I had. So I checked through my bank account and I ordered it online. This is the sheepiest yarn I've ever set eyes upon. It's this beautiful dark chocolatey, almost black colour, and it is 100% Wensleydale from Chiltern Wensleydales, which is a farm very close to Oxford, and we loved meeting the owners of the farm, Diana and Duncan. The sweetest, kindest people. They had some of their sheep there. One was called Matt, the other one didn't have a name yet. I think Pat would be a good option. And I really wanted to buy such a quantity of yarn from them because it's so nice to have something that is that local and this high quality. I don't think I can express to you just how beautiful this is. I'm so excited to knit this up. I think this is going to be the Curator sweater by Curatorial Knits, and I think that that beautiful sort of shoulder band of cable will be just perfect to show this off to its absolute maximum. I'm so excited to cast this on, but I feel like I need to do it when it feels right, you know? When the time is right, I'll knit this jumper. I'm so excited. They are an amazing farm. They specialise in very sustainable animal agriculture and nature-friendly animal agriculture as well, so they don't use any pesticides, they don't do sheep dipping, things like that. So it's very much about operating within the ecosystem and not imposing on the ecosystem, which I think is an amazing ethos to go by, especially because I want my hobby to be as low impact as possible. and I find the animal ethics of knitting to be a very fascinating topic, but I really want to support local farmers who are doing their best to farm in a sustainable and nature-friendly way, and this just really ticked all the boxes of being not only that and really aligning with my values, but also being the kindest people. I love supporting independent businesses. It's one of my favourite parts of this as a hobby, and also just beautiful yarn. So that's all very exciting. I think that's it for acquisitions. I am very much planning on doing a no yarn year next year because I've acquired too much this year, and filming this podcast has made that very clear to me. So the plan is that I'm only allowed to buy sock yarn while travelling, or sock yarn specifically for gifts for people. But otherwise I have everything I need, and I need to slow down because I don't have space. And if we're going to move in a couple of years' time, I need to knit through my stash because I'd rather transport jumpers than yarn, which doesn't make any sense, but you know what I mean. Okay, I recently did some creative swatching just to try out an idea and see if it worked, because I was really feeling the urge to do a scrap knit, and very much inspired by my friend Elsa, who is Elsa Crochets on Instagram, although Elsa does also knit. I have been keeping the ends that I've cut off from sewing in ends for about 5 years now, getting on for 6 years. This weighs about 500 grams and I want to knit with it. Look at this ball of beauty. There's a bit of everything in here. This is wool, alpaca, acrylic, sock yarn, basically anything. Cotton, bamboo, it's got it all, and it's very pleasing to look at, and it's even more pleasing to knit. I mean, look at this. This is the swatch I knit up. This is the ball of scraps held with Sirdar Haworth tweed in this cream colour, which I've had for a long time. I've always got more of it than this. I originally bought it to knit an April cardigan, then decided I didn't want a cardigan and couldn't decide what else to make with it. And I think it'll be the perfect way of sort of offsetting and stabilising this very chaotic fun yarn. It's going to be so fluffy and so silly, and I would love to cast it on right now. If I wasn't on deadlines, that is what I would do. Deadlines, both knitting and PhD. So that is what I would do. I loved swatching with this. My plan for once this is done, for once I've used up this ball, is not to save my ends as a ball anymore where they're all tied together, but rather save them in a bag and then eventually card them and spin them into new yarn, which I love as an idea. I was tempted to maybe unpick this and do that, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm too in love with this idea. But I just would love to do that, like make my own yarn out of ends. Because as you can see, that's quite a lot of yarn. Like, I don't know how many projects worth of ends are in this ball, but it's a lot. And that's quite a lot of waste yarn. So if I can make new yarn out of that, so much the better. I fully credit Elsa with this idea. She has made so many beautiful scrappy jumpers using her big ball of ends, and I'm so excited to have my own. I think it's going to be so much fun and so cozy. I love a scrap knit. I am just Lerka Bagger's biggest fan, and will be making myself a jumper. I haven't decided on the pattern yet. This swatch was done on 7mm needles and it's about 12 centimeters wide. So I'm going to size down to 6mm needles and maybe knit a pattern that's written for 6mm needles instead. Potentially the Juno sweater by the Knit Pearl Girl, potentially something else. Decisions to be made? Stay tuned for updates. But for now, I'm very excited. Okay, final update is that I've been spinning. I have been lucky to be given a wheel by someone from the local Spinners and Weavers Guild. It's an Ashford Traveller and it has the built-in lazy cape, which is a game changer. It's very compact, which is also good because my flat is very small. So that's been good. I have had it for about 3 days now, and in that time it has been a steep learning curve. On Saturday I kind of sat down to spin for an hour or two and I was so frustrated with it that I thought, you know what, I'm gonna have to give up. I hate this. Because it just kept breaking. I had to keep hooking it back through and keep trying again. It was very, very underspun. I stepped away, decided, look, I'm just not going to go there. I'm going to deal with this later, and read up on how to fix it. I find encountering a problem but not knowing how to fix it very frustrating. So as soon as I'd found the solution to the problem and could do that, it completely changed the game. So I'll put in a picture of how it was looking before, but this is my first spun up bobbin. This is a Jacob's top that I got from World of Wool, 100 grams, and it fits pretty nicely on this bobbin actually. Some of it is looking great, some of it is looking a bit underspun. That's okay, I'm just spinning through some cheap tops at the moment to try and get the hang of it, like get the meters in, see what I can do. So I've spun this one up. At some point there's going to be a problem because I think it broke quite significantly and I think I might have used the wrong end to rejoin it. So we'll see when I apply it. I'm currently spinning up a Herdwick top, which is so easy to spin. If you're a beginner spinner, I'm having a lot of fun using Herdwick because the staple length is so long and it's quite greasy, so it's a bit more grippy. So I'm spinning that up at the moment. Hopefully I'll get it done tonight. I've got an evening in tonight, but I do need to mark quite a lot of undergrad work, so we'll see how we go. But hopefully once that's all spun up, I can try and ply it with this and see how that goes. I'm already feeling a lot more confident about it. I am still obviously a massive beginner. I've only been doing it for 3 days, but I'm really enjoying it and I find it quite potato chippy. Like I want to keep doing it. I think, oh, just a little bit more. Let's just spin up a few more meters. It's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. And yeah, we'll see how this goes when I try and apply it. Just trying to get the practice in for now. But I am also thinking that it might be quite fun to start a long-term spinning journey blanket. So just a sort of 5mm needle project that is maybe just a diagonal blanket with an I-cord edge that is just all the yarn that I've spun up either for practice, so my first skein, which is very lumpy bumpy, but it is how it is. Spin that up, put that in, ply this, put it in, and then any leftovers of hand spun I have can also go into it. I just think that would be a really nice way of sort of memorializing the learning to spin journey and having it all quite visually presented, and also then having them somewhere where my slightly ropey skeins fit, and that all makes sense. So I'm really enjoying spinning. I am itching to do some more, but do need to get on with some work this afternoon. PhD is hectic at the moment. It's so busy. I'm having a really, really busy time of it. I need to submit work to my supervisor next week, so I'm writing very hard, which is why I'm filming this on my phone, because I don't have time to film any other day this week. Once I've got a few more meters sort of under my belt and had a bit more practice of spinning my singles and plying and things like that, I would love to spin to knit. I think I'd find that very motivating and a great way to learn. I think with knitting, doing a project to learn really works every time for me. And I think that that could be a good way to learn how to spin as well. We'll see. But I have these two tops. These are from World of Wool. As I said in my other video, I don't think I'm allowed to say the name of these on YouTube. They're named after a British dessert that has spotted as the first word, and the second word I don't think I can say on YouTube. They're very beautiful. These are the sister colours, so I'll apply them together. Have 100 grams of each, so we'll see. My aim is to knit something by Andrea Mowry, because I think a lot of her patterns are maybe designed for hand spun. Not certain on that, but they work for any gauge. There's a lot of cowls and things like that, and I think that would be a great sort of beginner hand spun project. So I'll probably work on that. I just want to keep spinning. It's very pleasing as a motion. It's a single treadle wheel, so I'm going to get 1 hench foot. Yeah, cheaper than the gym. It's not. My final thing to say is a little media recommendation, but I'm sure if you're based in the UK, you're already in over your head with this one, and that is Celebrity Traitors. If you watch The Traitors already, but you haven't been watching the celebrity version, what are you doing? It's so much better than the regular version. I'm obsessed. I love it so much. I live for Wednesdays and Thursday evenings now. So yeah, can't recommend that enough. I've nearly finished reading Book Lovers by Emily Henry, which is just a delightful book. I've cried several times, and I'm not usually that sentimental with reading romance novels. I think that's kind of it. Like I said, I've got PhD deadlines going on. I'm travelling to the US to see family and attend a conference in a bit, and until then I'm just gonna keep on working, keep on swimming. I think this is going to end up being a short episode because I haven't had enough time to film really, but I wanted to update on a busy fibre month. Yeah, I hope that wherever you are, you're doing well, and that your life is a little less hectic right now, and that you're maybe getting some more sleep than I am. The clock's changed in the UK very recently, which the cat found very upsetting, so I hope your cats are adjusting better. Anyway, have a lovely month. I'll see you next month. Bye!